Deep in the jungles of Sri Lanka, an ancient king built a palace on top of the towering 200-meter rock and surrounded it with sophisticated water gardens whose fountains still function more than 1,500 years later. Yet nobody knows exactly how such an advanced system was engineered. In a river valley in northern Germany, archaeologists continue to uncover the remains of thousands of warriors from a Bronze Age battle so enormous that it challenges everything we thought we knew about early warfare. The armies that fought there should not have existed at this point in history. High in the mountains of Laos, thousands of massive stone jars are scattered across the landscape, some weighing several tons and carved from rock transported over great distances by a culture that left behind almost no written record. And beneath the waters off the coast of Turkey lies a 3,000-year-old shipwreck carrying treasures and trade goods from multiple ancient civilizations on a voyage whose destination remains completely unknown. Tonight, we are exploring some of the greatest ancient mysteries ever discovered. These mysteries span continents, civilizations, and thousands of years of human history. Every one of them is real, has been studied by researchers for decades, and yet their biggest secrets remain unanswered. So if that sounds interesting, grab a snack, get comfortable, and join us as we journey through the ancient world and uncover the mysteries it left behind. Let's get into it. Rising nearly 200 meters above the forests of central Sri Lanka, Sigiriya is one of the most extraordinary archaeological sites in the world. From a distance, it appears almost impossible. A massive column of rock towers above the surrounding jungle, its summit crowned by the ruins of an ancient palace. Today, thousands of visitors climb its steep stairways every year. But the real mystery is not what remains at the top. It's how and why it was built in the first place. According to historical accounts, Sigiriya became the royal capital of King Kashyapa in the 5th century AD. After seizing the throne from his father, Kashyapa feared retaliation for his brother and chose this giant rock as a location for an almost impregnable fortress. At least, that's the traditional explanation. But many archaeologists believe the story may be far more complicated. Long before Kashyapa arrived, the site appears to have been used by Buddhist monks. Evidence suggests that caves around the base of the rock served as religious retreats for centuries. Some researchers argue that the king may have transformed an already sacred location into his royal residence. Others believe parts of the complex may even predate Kashyapa himself. What makes Sigiriya truly remarkable is its engineering. Surrounding the rock are vast gardens, reservoirs, canals, and fountains arranged with astonishing precision. Some of these fountains still function today during the rainy season. Water flows through underground channels built more than 1,500 years ago. Even modern engineers continue to study the hydraulic systems that made this possible. The palace itself was equally impressive. Ancient visitors described elaborate buildings, colorful frescoes, polished walls, and luxurious pools high above the jungle floor. Constructing such a complex on top of a towering rock would have required immense planning, labor, and technical knowledge. Yet many questions remain unanswered. Why was so much effort invested in a location that would serve as a capital for only a relatively short period of time? Was Sigiriya truly built as a fortress? Was it originally a religious center? Or was it something else entirely? More than 15 centuries later, the Lion Rock continues to guard its secrets. And despite decades of research, the true story of Sigiriya remains one of the ancient world's most fascinating mysteries. But as mysterious as Sigiriya may be, the next discovery was found far beneath the sea, and its secrets may be even harder to explain. In 1982, a sponge diver working off the southern coast of Turkey made a discovery that would transform our understanding of the ancient world. While diving near a rocky reef, he noticed something unusual resting on the seabed. At first glance, the object appeared to be metal ingots, but what archaeologists eventually uncovered was far more remarkable. Lying nearly 60 meters beneath the surface was a wreck of a Bronze Age trading ship that had sunk more than 3,000 years ago. Today, it is known as the Ulubaran shipwreck, and many researchers consider it one of the most important archaeological discoveries ever made. The ship was carrying an extraordinary cargo, more than 10 tons of copper, large quantities of tin, glass ingots in multiple colors, ivory from Africa, jewelry made from gold, exotic woods, ostrich eggshells, and luxury goods originating from distant regions across the ancient world. The cargo suggested trade connections stretching from Egypt to Mesopotamia, from the Levant to Cyprus, and possibly even beyond. In total, artifacts from at least 7 different cultures were discovered aboard the vessel. The ship offered an unprecedented glimpse into international trade during the late Bronze Age, but it also raised a mystery that remains unsolved. Where exactly was this ship going? Researchers have spent decades trying to identify its destination. Some believe it was sailing toward a wealthy port in the eastern Mediterranean. Others argue it may have been carrying diplomatic gifts between powerful kingdoms. A few researchers even suggest it was part of a much larger trade network that connected civilizations across vast distances. Yet no definitive answer has ever emerged. The ship's origin is also debated. Its construction techniques point toward the eastern Mediterranean. But exactly who owned it and who commanded it remains uncertain. Even more mysterious is the timing of the voyage. The ship sailed during a period when many of the great Bronze Age civilizations were approaching collapse. Within only a few generations, powerful kingdoms across the region would disappear. Trade networks would break apart, and entire societies would enter a period of decline. Some historians believe the Ulubran shipwreck may represent one of the final snapshots of a highly interconnected world just before that collapse began. A frozen moment in history, preserved beneath the sea. More than 3,000 years later, the cargo has revealed countless secrets about the ancient world. But the most important question remains unanswered. Where was the ship headed? And what might have happened if it had reached its destination? For now, the Mediterranean keeps those secrets hidden beneath the waves. But while the Ulubran shipwreck disappeared beneath the sea, the next mystery was hidden in plain sight for thousands of years, and would reveal evidence of a battle unlike anything archaeologists expected to find. For centuries, the quiet Talens Valley in northern Germany appeared to be an ordinary river landscape. Rolling fields, dense forests, and a winding river gave little indication that one of Europe's greatest ancient mysteries was hidden beneath the soil. That changed in 1996. While exploring the riverbank, an amateur archaeologist discovered a human arm bone with a stone arrowhead still embedded in it. At first, researchers believed the remains belonged to a small local conflict. But as excavations continued, the scale of the discovery became impossible to ignore. More human bones began appearing throughout the valley. Then weapons, then horse remains, then evidence of a battle unlike anything archaeologists had ever expected to find from the Bronze Age. Over the years, thousands of human bones have been recovered from the site. Many of the skeletons belonged to young men who suffered violent injuries. Arrow wounds, broken skulls, crushed bones. The evidence pointed toward a brutal conflict fought approximately 3,300 years ago. But the most shocking discovery was not the violence. It was the size of the battle itself. Researchers estimate that several thousand warriors may have participated in the conflict. Some estimates suggest as many as 4,000, or even 5,000 fighters. That may not sound unusual today, but during the Bronze Age, it was thought that societies in this region were too small and too fragmented to organize armies on such a scale. The Talens Valley challenged that assumption completely. Who were these warriors? Where did they come from? And who was capable of leading such a large force? Analysis of the remains revealed another surprise. Not all the fighters were local. Scientific studies suggest that some warriors may have traveled hundreds of kilometers before arriving at the battlefield. This raises a possibility that multiple groups from different regions were involved. Some researchers believe the battle may have been fought over important trade routes. Others suggest it could have been part of a larger political struggle involving powerful Bronze Age leaders. Yet no one knows for certain. Even the outcome of the battle remains a mystery. There are no written records describing what happened. No surviving monuments celebrate a victory. And no ancient texts mention the conflict. All that remains are the bones scattered throughout the valley, silent witnesses to a forgotten war. Today, many archaeologists consider Talens one of the most important discoveries ever made in European prehistory, because it suggests that Bronze Age societies may have been far more organized, connected, and powerful than previously believed. Yet despite decades of research, the biggest question remains unanswered. What event brought thousands of warriors together in this remote valley more than 3,000 years ago? And why was such a massive battle completely forgotten by history? For now, the Talens Valley keeps its secrets buried beneath the earth. But while the Talens Valley revealed evidence of forgotten war, the next mystery was built to celebrate life, death, and the movement of the sun itself. More than 5,000 years ago, long before the pyramids of Egypt were built, an extraordinary monument rose from the Irish landscape. Today, it is known as Newgrange. Located in County Meath, Ireland, this massive prehistoric structure appears from the outside as a large circular mound surrounded by carefully arranged stones. At first glance, it looks impressive, but its greatest secret lies hidden within. A narrow stone passage stretches deep into the center of the mound, leading to a chamber that has remained intact for thousands of years. For centuries, nobody knew exactly why Newgrange was built. Many believed it was simply a burial site. After all, human remains were discovered inside the chamber. Yet the monument contains a feature so remarkable that it transformed the way archaeologists viewed the entire structure. Every year, during the winter solstice, something extraordinary happens. As the sun rises on the shortest day of the year, a beam of light enters through a specially designed opening above the entrance. The light travels along the passageway and gradually illuminates the inner chamber. For just a few minutes, the heart of the monument glows with golden sunlight. Then the moment passes. This event occurs with astonishing precision. The builders of Newgrange somehow aligned the structure perfectly with the winter solstice sunrise more than 5,000 years ago. And that raises an important question. How did they possess such detailed astronomical knowledge? Creating this alignment would have required years of careful observation. The builders needed to understand the movement of the sun across the horizon and predict exactly where it would appear on a specific day each year. Yet they achieved this without modern instruments, without telescopes, without written records explaining their methods. The monument itself is equally impressive. Researchers estimate that hundreds of thousands of tons of stone and earth were transported to the site. Some materials came from locations many kilometers away. The effort required to build Newgrange would have demanded planning, coordination, and engineering skills far beyond what many people once assumed prehistoric communities possessed. Adding to the mystery are the intricate carvings found throughout the monument. Spirals, geometric patterns, and symbols cover many of the stones. Some researchers believe these designs may have had spiritual significance. Others think they could represent astronomical observations. No one knows for certain. The meaning of these symbols remains lost to history. Even today, archaeologists continue to debate the true purpose of Newgrange. Was it a tomb, a temple, an astronomical observatory, or perhaps all three at the same time? More than 5,000 years after its construction, Newgrange continues to challenge our understanding of prehistoric society. Its builders left behind no written explanation, only stone, sunlight, and a mystery that has survived for millennia. And despite decades of research, the full story of Newgrange remains unsolved. But while Newgrange was built to track the movement of the sun, the next mystery may have recorded the stars themselves. In 1999, two treasure hunters using metal detectors made a discovery on a hilltop in Germany that would completely change our understanding of prehistoric Europe. Buried beneath the soil was a bronze disc unlike anything archaeologists had ever seen. At first glance, it appeared to be heavily damaged. Its surface was covered in corrosion, and its true significance was not immediately obvious. But when experts examined the artifact more closely, they realized they were looking at one of the most extraordinary objects ever recovered from the ancient world. Today, it is known as the Nebra Sky Disk, and many researchers consider it the oldest known realistic representation of the night sky ever discovered. The disk measures about 30 centimeters in diameter and is made primarily of bronze. Embedded into its surface are gold symbols that appear to represent celestial objects. A large golden circle is believed to depict either the sun or full moon. A crescent shape appears nearby, and scattered across the disk are numerous gold dust that many researchers interpret as stars. One cluster of 7 stars is especially important. Most experts believe it represents the Pleiades star cluster, a group of stars that has been recognized by civilizations around the world for thousands of years. But the mystery goes far beyond the symbols themselves. The disk dates to approximately 1600 BC. At that time, prehistoric societies in Central Europe were once thought to possess only limited astronomical knowledge. Yet the Nebra Sky Disk suggests something very different. Its creators appear to have understood the movements of the sun, moon, and stars with remarkable accuracy. Later additions to the disk may even indicate knowledge of solar alignments used to track the changing seasons. Some researchers believe it functioned as an astronomical tool. Others argue it may have served a religious or ceremonial purpose. And a few suggest it could have been both. Adding to the mystery is the question of where this knowledge came from. Did local Bronze Age communities develop these observations independently? Or were ideas traveling across vast trade networks connecting distant civilizations? No one knows for certain. The disk itself was discovered alongside swords, axes, and other valuable objects that had been deliberately buried together. Why were these items placed in the ground? Was it an offering, a ritual deposit, or an attempt to hide something valuable? Even today, researchers continue to debate its exact purpose. What is clear is that the Nebra Sky Disk forced historians to rethink what prehistoric Europeans were capable of understanding. More than 3,000 years after it was created, this remarkable artifact continues to raise questions about astronomy, religion, and ancient knowledge. And despite decades of study, the true meaning of a Nebra Sky Disk remains one of Europe's greatest unsolved mysteries. But while the mysteries we've explored today continue to puzzle archaeologists and historians, our journey is far from over. There are still many more forgotten monuments, unexplained artifacts, and ancient secrets waiting to be uncovered. In the next episode, we'll explore even more mysteries from around the world. Discoveries that challenge everything we think we know about the ancient past. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Silent History. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this fascinating journey into the unknown. Until next time, thank you for watching and keep exploring the mysteries of history.